Hi everyone, I'm Karolien from Karolien There's Life After Kids, and as some of you might know, we've been living in Mauritius for the past 2 and a bit years. My husband's been here for 4 years, going for his 5th, and this is my second video that I'm recording to share some ins and outs about life on the island. And I'm saying second of many because it could be a few. I don't know how many I'm going to make. I'm going down the list of questions that people are sending me daily, and hopefully there will be quite a few more to come where I can just share a little bit of how daily life goes here and what you can expect when you move to Mauritius. So today's topic, I would like to talk about the cost of living on the island, and I'm only going to touch on a few on a few main costs: the monthly rental, your car, electricity, Wi-Fi, and stuff like that. If there's any other monetary or expenditure questions that you would like, you can pop the questions in the comments thread below, and I'll see if I can address that in the next video. For the moment, my disclaimer for this video is that all of us have different priorities, and for some people the priority is to rent a house of 200,000 rupees, or maybe their company rents it for them. Others come here, they are thrifty, they don't want to spend a lot of money. If you're like me, I don't like paying more than I have to pay for something because I really don't see the need. So I do believe that there is enough leeway for both of these types of people. There are cheaper housing for those who choose to restrain themselves to a budget, and there are the most luxurious homes that money can get you, that you can rent if you have the budget for it. So for me, what I'm sharing with you is what I've found. If you have if you're 2 people coming over, or maybe a family of 4, you can use the numbers that I'm going to give you and just work from that. My numbers are very roughly drawn up. It's just a guideline for you to see what you can expect to pay, and it's not necessarily set in cement. One thing that I want to say before I continue is my advice to you is to come to Mauritius and rent a temporary flat or apartment, and just for the time being, for while you find your feet, and go out looking with the agents, go search for a house, go look for a house that meets your needs, go look at the area, because that's another topic that I will address in another video, is northeast, southwest, which area is the best. And some people are firm believers that the west is the best area to live in on the island. I myself prefer the north, and I don't know if I'll ever move to the west. I've spent a month in Flick and Flock in 2017, and I can say it wasn't to my taste. But anyway, that topic is for another day. To continue today is I have written this out on paper, and you can have a little bit of a look. So for rent, if you are not fussy and you just want a clean and comfortable space to live in, and starting from a 2-bedroom apartment, you can probably, I've written 15,000 rupees, but you can probably start at around 12,000 rupees for a basic 2-bedroom apartment. It might not have a pool, it might not be close to the beach, it might, you never know. That's the other thing. If you are here and you have a short-term address for a while, and you take the time to look, you can deal with the agent on the ground floor, and you can say what you want and where you want it, and then there is much more leeway for bargaining about where you want to live and what your needs are and what you're prepared to pay for it. It's very hard to try and do this from abroad. it's much better to come and negotiate that while you're here. And one more tip about renting is when you deal with the agents, make sure that you deal with the agents that charge the commission to the landlord and not to the tenant. Otherwise, you will pay a deposit, your first month's rent, and the commission for the agent out of your pocket. Whereas in South Africa, we used to the deposit and your rental. So the rent, you can start for a 2-bedroom. I've seen clean 2-bedroom apartments for 12,000 rupees. I'm saying 15, depending on your area where you want to live. If you want 1 bedroom or a studio flat, you could go below that even. For a family of 4 like we are, you can comfortably go up to about 35,000 rupees if you really, really want to, and still live comfortably in a nice place, in a nice area. So that would be your rental. We are at the moment somewhere in between. We are living in a 3-bedroom duplex. We are looking to move again because due to COVID our children are with us and we need a slightly bigger space. But I can now take my time to look for a place, and I can put it out on Facebook that I'm looking for a space to live in, and that alters what I will find and what I will pay at the end of the day. Next thing is car. We pay slightly less than this. I can't tell you exactly how much, but we've been renting for the past 2 years because we knew that we were up for permit renewal last year, and we did not want to commit to buying a vehicle if we had to just sell it again after 18 months. My and the kids' initial permits were only 18 months long because my husband was already he was already a year and a half in on his permit when we applied for ours. So we decided not to buy a car. And to say the honest truth is that we are quite happy going on with renting because we don't have to do the fitness test, we don't have to do the services, we don't have to pay for new tires, we don't have to do the licensing or the insurance. All that's taken care of by the lady who we rent from. So at the moment still we find that a good deal for our family. And what you're going to get for that money is not your fancy 4x4 or a nice big SUV. You're probably going to get a little Nissan Micra or a Hyundai i10, which is what we are driving at the moment, which is quite adequate for island life. I can promise you that. Moving on to your Wi-Fi. At the moment we're using MTEL. We had to choose between installing Telkom, which with a very hefty expat deposit would have cost us about 12,000 rupees just from start to finish for the installation and then the deposit that we had to pay. So we chose to buy an MTEL box. I think we paid 1,700 rupees for it last month because we were using another one. We had to purchase a new one, and then we pay 999 rupees a month for unlimited data. We stream our Netflix. My son plays his PlayStation 4 games on it. We all put our phones, our laptops, everything's connected to it. So it serves us quite well, and the speed is not too bad. Phone. I pay for MTEL 319 rupees per person per month for their phones, and that covers all our WhatsApp calls, all our WhatsApp messages, whatever we send. I don't have to put any other money on unless I want to make phone calls, but on the island WhatsApp calls seems to be mostly the norm. So I might put a 50 rupees here and there just to make a phone to phone call instead of a WhatsApp call, but 319 rupees. And the kids don't move around much, so they don't really care about the packages. It's mostly for myself and hubby that I put it on, and it doesn't run out. Food bill, there at the bottom you can see I've written between 15,000 25,000 rupees a month. We are at the top of the spectrum because we are 4 adults. We are myself and my husband and the 2 children that are 21 and 19, so we eat full adult meals. And so our food bill would most probably be at the higher end of that scale. If you are only 2 people, you can get away with much less. If you are vegan, we eat a lot of meat. I like to buy wine and beer and snacks or whatever. Cleaning stuff, all my cleaning stuff, toilet paper, shampoos, everything like that is included in that. So we shop at Intermart mostly. I like their point system. They give you points back. So last year on my Intermart card, my store card, I got 2,000 rupees worth of vouchers back. This year I managed to get 1,500 rupees because I didn't shop so much whilst we had lockdown. Electricity, I would say, is average about 2,500 a month. Last month we had a bill of 2,900 rupees. We do not, however, use our air cons at all. If you use your air cons, this is not going to be your average. Then you're going to look at a much higher bill. So we only use fans, and trust me, my husband said there's no way he's not going to use an air con, and the man's used to sleeping with it. That's the only thing that runs in the house the whole day, and each one of us has got one in our room, and to open the windows. So I prefer a house with burglar bars so I can sleep with my doors and my windows open if I choose to do so. Crime is not non-existent here, but I feel safe enough to sleep with my windows open, seeing that our bedrooms are on the 2nd story. And at the previous house I even slept with the balcony door open, only with the gates, the security gates locked. So we have Netflix, which most of you probably have, and it's about 450 rupees a month. All of these are just average monthly true costs for us, and an average. I've put a low and a high so that you can get quite a good average. We don't pay school fees. Petrol, my petrol is negligent in a month. It's really not even worth mentioning. I think I might fill up my car once a month. I think it's 40 rupees or 42 rupees a liter at the moment. I'm not sure. Alcohol is very expensive. You can expect to pay about 200 rupees for the cheapest bottle of South African red one that's been bottled here by Oxenham. School fees we're not paying. We are paying for my daughter's study fees, which is about 9,500 rupees for online. So that's not included in this. But and obviously our South African commitments that we have, because your commitments look different than mine. Medical aid is for each person to decide. Some people have the local medical aid here, which can be quite cheap, but then also your what you get for that money is not what you would get inside, on par maybe with a rupee, but also not. It's not nothing, but it's not wonderful. Some people are still with Discovery. I think they have an out of Africa option, and some people choose to get international medical aid. That's all up to you, what you can afford to pay and what you choose to use while you're here. Yes, so that's, sorry, I'm looking at my list that's over there in the corner, and I think I've covered most everything. We do not have a cleaner or someone that helps, a fairy that helps in the house. We are for able-bodied people, and we clean ourselves. Also, if you do have a little fairy helping you, you have to make sure that you register that fairy, and that you are going to have to, that you know that you're going to have to pay a 13th check. Those details I'm not also clued up about, so but I know you're going to have to pay a 13th check. That's mandatory here. So we have someone in our little complex that come and cleans the pool. Some houses come with cleaners, some come with pool people that come and clean your pool. Some come with gardeners. Where we live, we've got the pool guy, and we choose not to have someone to come and clean, but that's something that you can bring up with your landlord, and you can ask to perhaps have those services not included, which will also save some money, and you can opt to do them yourself. We always have choices in life. So this is my input. I think there is enough leeway for the people on budget and for the people who are not on budget to both have a good life here. It's just all down to choices, whether you shop at the market, whether you rent the most expensive house on the island, or whether you are satisfied to just downgrade a little, well, not downgrade, but just rent a little bit cheaper so as not to load yourself with all those very hectic expenses. That's all for today. Anything that I might have forgotten or that you still would like to know, please drop it in the comment section below. What I don't know, I will try and find out, and I will post it in the next video. So thank you for listening, if you made it to here, and thank you for bearing with me. I know this has been a really long one. It's a lot of information to try and put in simple terms, and just so that you know what you're getting into. So thank you again for being here, and don't forget you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and you can find me on Facebook at Karolien, There's Life After Kids, an expat living in Mauritius. And also my website is www.karolien-there'slifeafterkids.com. There's a lot of blogs on there that I've written in the past 2.5 years about living here, so I hope you enjoy them. Cheers.